Now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of what Indians are all about.
I still say we Indian people are believers in the truth. This is the way of life that was given to your people. You're born an Indian, you're going to die an Indian. Indianness is a good life. You're facing an Indian this afternoon.
Good afternoon out there, everyone, and welcome to your number one source for Native American television news, Native News Today. I'm your host, Jason Salzman. I want to welcome you into the cozy confines of Muskogee Media Studios here in Okmulgee, Oklahoma, home to the great Muskogee Creek Nation. We love bringing this show to you all. For 450 plus episodes now, we have covered Indian country. We are the only weekly statewide Native American television program proud to produce this program and bring it to you every week. So we've got lots of great things to get to. We've got lots of wonderful stories, features to look at from this past week. In fact, I had a really good past week. I had a great time out on Tuesday night at One Oak Field in Tulsa for the Home Run for the Homeless game. If you saw us having a little bit of fun last week out at the softball fields, getting some training as I was getting ready, and unfortunately the training only produced this little gem right here, this little guy, and it is the Phil Stone MVP Award. I was awarded last night as Team TV, my team. We beat Radio and Writers 3-2, and I was awarded the MVP, so I was very happy about that. Really stoked. Had a lot of supporters out from Creek Nation, so I want to thank everybody that helped and donated to my page. We raised $525 for the Tulsa Day Center and for the homeless. So thank you to all those great people that make that happen. Thank you for the award and thanks for the great time. But don't go anywhere. We're going to take our first break. We'll be right back. We'll have lots of great things to show you here on this week's Native News Today.
We believe if you teach a man to fish, you can feed him for a lifetime. We believe that transitioning convicted citizens back into our communities enhances public safety. We believe that every citizen, even ex-prisoners, are important and are capable of change. We believe in reclaiming our citizens and investing them back into a culture that embraces healing and restoration.
We believe
in reintegration.
I pledge to embrace and educate offenders in an effort to stop their abuse.
I pledge to all women to love them, protect them, and teach them that violence does not belong in our communities and is not our tradition.
I pledge to take full responsibility for myself and the women and children of the Muskogee Nation.
I pledge to work courageously and audibly to fulfill this pledge for the rest of my life.
I think creatively, I was just into drawing for a long time, ever since I was a kid. It wasn't until maybe around late 2007, 2008, that I became aware of the graffiti scene. It changed everything for me. You don't even really understand in the beginning what kind of journey it's going to take you on, but I think that in order to become great at what you do, it really boils down to how you feel about yourself and how you feel about your own artistic creativity and your own expression. I think it comes from a belief in oneself and pushing yourself to the limits as far as you can take it.
And welcome back to Native News Today, and I want to give a big shout out to my buddy Mark Abbott, our newest associate producer here on the program, for handing up the trophy and being careful with it. Didn't want to drop anything, so MVP trophy in good hands. Moving on to our very first story this week, we got a great feature. What a fun time I had shooting this, putting it together. The Bot Ball Challenge, the Junior Bot Ball Challenge that was held at the Muskogee Creek Nation Dome. Now, if you folks are sitting at home going, what in the heck is a Junior Bot Ball Challenge? Well, It's probably a pretty good question because I was thinking the same thing, but I got to go over, meet some of the folks, seeing what's going on with these autonomous robots, what these kids are doing, writing code. I can't wait to show you the feature because it's all in there, all the information about how this is happening, how this kind of technology and this kind of training, this kind of education is coming to our Creek schools and our Creek students. So it's a wonderful thing. I had such a good time over as the Muskogee Creek Nation hosted the Junior Bot-Ball Challenge.
This is the second largest worldwide event of this nature to be held, and it's being held here at the Muskogee Creek Nation's Muskogee Dome.
This is the real deal. These kids are doing the real coding. So what we have today is the Junior Bot-Ball Challenge event hosted by the Muskogee Creek Nation in partnership with our KISS Institute. What you have are some fantastic kids in the back here. These are elementary kids who have learned how to write computer code, and they're actually programming autonomous robots that they're running on challenges. So this is a really important skill for kids. In fact, 70% of the jobs in STEM in the future are going to be in computer coding, and look at them. You can see over my shoulder, this is fun stuff. So what's really cool, these kids are having fun, they're learning coding, they're learning engineering, but they're also learning teamwork, collaboration, all these things while having fun. It's a very great event.
We're really on a cutting edge as Muskogee Creek people through our youth on a new frontier of education. And this is a big part of it. I think it's a great time for Muskogee Creek Nation and the areas of education we want to get involved in. We've done so much in education, and this is part of it.
I'm extremely thrilled to see this event finally come to fruition. Certainly it takes a lot of planning, a lot of people involved, and to finally see it come alive. You walk in this dome and you see all these young people so focused on purpose for being here. That's very exciting. As an educator, as Chief indicated, you know, we're kind of on the cutting edge of what the future is for education for everyone. And we want our young people to be involved and be a part of that. That's one of the reasons why we worked so hard to create this event, and there's going to be many more to come, I promise you that.
I'd like to say how critically important it is and how the leadership of the Muskogee Creek Nation, they're far-reaching. They see the value of what we're doing here, and they actually reached out to us and we formed this partnership. For us, this is very unique. I mean, we run this program in 38 U.S. states, but people don't get it. I can tell you the leadership at the Creek Nation get this, and they're looking down the road. They're looking 10, 15 years down the road to what their citizens need, and they're willing to put in the time and effort to make this happen. We will always partner with them and do all we can to support that, because it's this far-sightedness that's actually going to have an impact on the kids.
And our thanks once again to all the great people with Bot-Ball Robotics putting on this great event at Muskogee Creek Nation. So happy to be able to host it for the first time ever. And as you heard Dr. Johnson there, this is only the beginning. There's going to be lots of things like that. So thank them again one more time for bringing that great event to the Muskogee Dome. Well, I have to say, as you saw in the video there, and as you saw a couple of weeks ago, Dodie Warrington Barnett, a big part of bringing that STEM, bringing that Bot-Ball here to Creek Nation. Well, as her in her stead on the National Council, she also does other things such as working with legislators from the Oklahoma House. Her and Seneca Scott, who is actually an Oklahoma House of Representatives member, he is on the Native American Caucus in the Oklahoma House. They've been working together, putting together a Native Juvenile Task Force. It's something that they want to combat Native juveniles going through the correction system. And so it's one of those things that they get caught up in. It's tough for them to get out. They want to identify through research lots of different things that can help them combat this.
Today, we hosted at the Riverwalk office the monthly meeting of the Oklahoma Native American Juvenile Justice Task Force. We've been in existence since last October when we were thinking about how to best help our delinquent youth, at-risk youth, whatever you want to call them, the kids who need our help. And we've been meeting pretty much regularly every month and discussing these issues. We recently learned that Governor Fallin did sign House Bill 1834, so starting November 1st, the state will contact the tribes whenever they come in contact with our delinquent youth so that we can intervene on their behalf. I think to date we have made some progress on juvenile justice fronts for our Native American youth. I would like to see more, obviously. I think this is the beginning of some pretty big and wonderful things that we'll be able to do on the tribal level, statewide, hopefully. Especially on educational fronts, those projects that have been implemented in the last couple of years, especially here at Muskogee Creek Nation with our Bobtail program, with the literacy program, studies show that the more interest and involvement that kids have in school, it's going to keep them on the right path, on that good path that we want them to stay on. So absolutely, there is a huge environment and a huge movement for these children that many times fall through the cracks. And as services-wide, educational-wide, we want them to stay in school, we want them to succeed, and if they get off track, it's the Muskogee way to help our brethren get on the good path.
My research partner is Dr. Mitch Peck and myself. I'm Paul Ketchum. We are both at OU, and we had done some research for the Office of Juvenile Affairs a couple years ago on disproportionate minority contact, which is minority overrepresentation in the juvenile justice system. And that's really looking at how much more than the comparison is going to be to whites, how much more non-whites are found at different decision points in the juvenile justice system. And at some point I made a presentation at one of the subcommittees for the state legislature. And as a result of that presentation, I was asked to be part of the task force originally, and using that information, the task force, along with some, bunch of other stuff going on, but it was one of the parts that kind of was used for finding purpose to make some change. What our data specifically says, our research specifically shows that Native American youth, for example, are 3 times as likely as white youth to be arrested in Oklahoma. And we found that consistent through different counties. With our other research, what we found is that, and we don't have enough, I should preface, but we don't have a large enough sample of Native American youth to know if this is true, but we expect it is, because for other non-white groups, we found that the juveniles' delinquency and crime rates are really no different. So what we have is this overrepresentation, but it does not seem to be attributable, or at least most of it cannot be attributed to them committing crimes at any higher rate. So that becomes some sort of systemic bias. So that's specifically what we're looking at, and that was kind of the start of all of this.
All right, thanks again to the task force for letting us into the meeting there and sharing some of the good news about what they're putting together. Well, we're going to take a quick break again, let everybody get your bearings, maybe jump up and get something to drink, get comfortable, because when we come back, we'll have the rest of Native News Today.
Pumakasam gadat, ibufanga, nage, adigat, punhayadit omega, azayididet omis.
Diosnuk, that's true. Throughout the generations, our elders have taught us to preserve, share, and more importantly, protect the abundant natural resources we have here in Oklahoma. We are the original environmentalists and protector of these resources. The Muskogee Creek Nation believes tribal and state governments must work together to ensure future generations will have clean air and clean water as the ultimate legacy. What is good for Oklahoma tribal nations is good for all Oklahomans. Remember, tribes are truly the original Oklahomans.
It's more than just an associate degree. It's a life-changing experience.
You'll see a lot of cultural features here on the campus. You'll see a symbol of the mound, which goes back to the history of Muskogee people as being in that Mississippian time period, that mound building society. That really welcomes our students whenever they first get here.
The college in itself is beyond the building, is the people.
They're passionate, very passionate about what they teach, and it shows whenever they're teaching.
The instructors and the administration, they really believe in their students here.
After a couple classes, I began to notice that it kind of felt as if I were returning back to something that has been lost for like a long time. As I learned more about the history of my people, to discover that there were very many great people that did a lot of good things for their people, for their nations, and that those people were American Indian and Native American, it kind of brings out a sense of pride that was not really there before.
There is a future for our people.
All right, welcome back to Native News Today. As we roll into the month of May, getting into everything going on, getting closer to summer, and that can only mean one thing, the Muskogee Creek Nation Festival. I know everybody's getting excited about the festival already. They're asking what's going down this year, what's going to be happening. Well, the entertainment lineup, which is one of always the most anticipated announcement, has been made. That was done at a press conference here recently at the Muskogee Dome again. Boy, we're really spotlighting that place, but what a great center. But at the Muskogee Dome, the Muskogee Creek Nation Festival press conference. Now, the principal chief, not only George Tiger, but also joined by Public Relations Selina Dornan. There was all of the tourism and recreation team out there. Those guys really make it happen. Festival committee, William Lowe, all the great people that put everything together. So we were so glad to be there as they announced the festival entertainment lineup, and we will let them announce it to you right now.
Hello and welcome to the 41st Annual Muskogee Creek Nation Festival Press Conference. It's an annual event and an annual time. It's an honored treasure that celebrates the living and past Muskogee people and culture. Originally established in 1974, the Muskogee Creek Nation Festival has been an event that our citizens, friends, and family can be very proud of. The reason we're here this evening, or this afternoon, is for the opportunity for us to announce our entertainment for the 41st Annual Muskogee Creek Nation Festival. On Friday, which is Country Night, at 7:30, Little Texas. Little Texas is well known throughout the country in country music circles, and we're pleased that they're going to be part of our festival this year. And to top off our entertainment that evening on Friday is Sawyer Brown. Many of you know of Sawyer Brown and the great entertainers that they bring to the stage each time that they come to perform. On Saturday, one of the Indian country's best known entertainment group, a tribe called Red, will have the stage at 6 o'clock. At 7:30, the world-renowned Commodores will come on to perform at 7:30. And to top off our entertainment on Saturday evening will be Cool in the Gang.
You know, our festival has grown each year. You know, Chief Tiger, when he came in, was so awesome to us because he let us actually plan and do the things that we do well in our group, are event planners and marketers. So we do a lot of great things, and with his guidance, we were able to start getting this entertainment streamlined versus going through all these middle people. So all these folks that you see coming and playing in Okmulgee, you know, we start trying to secure them as early as even December. I wanted to say and take this opportunity while I have your attention, you know, my position is a little tough, but it's good to be able to orchestrate an event when your team can accomplish things with little guidance. You know, this is our 4th year as a team together, so it's easy to just let them do their thing. And as you'll see when you come out this June, I mean, it's a whole month of festivals. So when you come out here in June, you'll actually see all the pieces that go into this. And you'll get a whole appreciation, because as you leave today, you can see empty ground and you cannot fathom how this festival can be put on these grounds. But we have 55 acres and we put the whole festival in here, and it's amazing.
All right, and as you can see there, lots to get excited about in the coming weeks. The festival is going to be kicking off. Definitely for all you folks out there that don't know what the festival is about, I can give you 2 avenues. One that I'm about to give you here in just a moment, but also you can go to creekfestival.com. That is the official website of the Muskogee Creek Nation Festival. You're going to be able to find all things on there, the forms for some of the entries that you need to get filled out if you want to take place in some of the sports. Also, there's deadlines, there's information, there's maps, there's all kinds of things. And there is also something from us, a special treat that we are now going to offer you folks that have never seen it before. It's basically festival weekend squashed into a neat little 4.5 minute montage, and it just gives you an idea of all the things that you can expect if you come to Okmulgee the 3rd weekend in June every year. It's all happening. It's right here in Okmulgee. It's all totally free. The Creek Nation Festival. All right, that'll wrap up another episode of Native News Today. We certainly hope that you've enjoyed going through this last 30 minutes with us, seeing what's going on in Indian country happening for our feature stories this week. Want to say thank you once again to the great people with Bobtail. That was such a treat to be able to do that, to be able to showcase all the great things that they're doing and partnering with us in our education office. Great job there. Also want to thank Dodie Warrington Barnett, Seneca Scott, some of the people from the task force allowing us into the meeting and seeing how they're putting some of these things together for our youth. Also, Creek Nation Festival. As we go on through the next few weeks, you're going to have to stay tuned with Native News Today. This is going to be your spot because we're going to keep you up to date, all updated on the Muskogee Creek Nation Festival, the events going on, and it kicks off here before you know it, just in a couple of weeks. So we're excited about that. We're excited about all the things we're doing online. Go to our channel at YouTube. We'll go just type in Native News Today, Muskogee Media. It'll take you right to our channel. We've got all of our episodes updated weekly, plus all of our productions as well. So go there, go to Facebook, see what we're doing throughout the week. Want to congratulate our winners again from the Home Run for the Homeless ticket giveaway. Also, our Twitter page at Native News Guys. See what's happening with us throughout the week while we're putting the show together. So for Mark Abbott, Devaney Luxinger, Jared Moore, myself, Jason Salzman, all the great people here at Native News Today, see you guys next Saturday, next Sunday.